Hi everybody, it's me Monica and welcome to another Simsphony video, and also welcome to Henford-the-Enchanted fantasy save file in The Sims 4. Finally, after one whole year, I was able to finish Henford-the-Enchanted. However, it was so worth it because right now we are having 13 builds in Henford-the-Enchanted, even though you see only 12 here on the map, but we have 13 lots overall, and we have personalized lore and stories surrounding every single family. This save file is for the occults only, so there is no human Sims here in this save file at all, but we have all the occults that are currently in the game. However, I didn't have The Sims 4 enchanted by nature while I was doing that, obviously. So fairies basically are only spellcasters right now with the wings, so I use the costume from The Sims 4 spooky stuff. And hopefully that's okay with you. If you get like the new pack, you are going to be able to transform these adorable little fairies into functional flying fairies. And also thanks to EA, I'm going to give one code today for The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature, so you can, as I said, transform your little fairies and enjoy watching them while they're flying around, because it's so enjoyable, to be quite honest. However, I'm going to tell you more about giveaway later on when we get to fairies. And right now we are going to discuss every single build in this save file. We are going to start from here and then we are going to progress until we get to the top. Okay, so I'm totally ready. I'm going to read to you info about Henford-the-Enchanted, just so you know, like the small backstory about this world that I made. Once a quiet magical land, Henford-the-Enchanted was changed by the Great Occult War. When vampires stormed the realm, fairies, spellcasters, and werewolves united in the battle that left scars on the land and its people. Though the vampires were banished and peace was restored, many families fled during the conflict. Now, years later, Henford has blossomed into a sanctuary for all kinds of magical misfits and wandering souls. No matter where you go, every path here leads to something enchanted. So let's start with the first build, Elarion Hall, and then, as I said, we are going to progress throughout the world and get eventually to the top of the map. Let's start. So here we are in the first build of Henford-the-Enchanted, and this is the Elarion Hall. This is actually an Elven shopping district in the village. I know that not often you see Elven structure in the village, and that's not, so regular. But the thing is that this family had a lot of issues. They were living in the forest, but unfortunately, after the war with the vampires, they lost their home and they really didn't want to leave Henford. So now a single mother, Sarathiel, unfortunately, decided to leave the woodland area and come here with her two sons, Elenvar, and also younger son, Kylen, who is a teenager still. And they all have different characters. Of course, you can see their traits over here. Our younger brother is more into learning and he's very, very smart. He's more, into himself. He likes to spend time alone and read and do things like that. we have our mom, Seraphiel, who is crafting different potions and also making jewelry for their shops. And also we have oldest brother, Elenvar. He is a hopeless romantic. He really likes to flirt and change partners and things like that. However, he's a nice guy in terms of helping his mom with her shops and just things like that. So basically downstairs we have the whole shopping district, and also we have one more floor downstairs. I mean, even 2 floors, because you can see that this shop is quite big and it's basically on the 2 floors. But we have some shops over here as well, and some bathrooms for the guests. And also we have a room where Seraphiel is crafting her jewelry and also crafting potions. So that's that. And on the second floor we have their residential space. Here is Seraphiel's bedroom, and on the 3rd floor this is Kylan's bedroom. I thought this location is the best for Kylan's bedroom because obviously he has the whole floor for himself, and you know, he can wander while watching throughout the windows and read in peace. And also downstairs we have the whole space over here for our oldest brother Elenvar. As I said, he is a hopeless romantic. And he's very self-absorbed, alluring, cheerful, and he really likes to, you know, spend his time a little bit far off from his family with his lovers. Yeah, so that's basically that. And what I wanted to mention, and you are going to notice that in other builds too, like it's going to look like we have this kind of books as a decoration in the builds. But this is not a regular book. This is actually a hidden ticket kiosk for your small business residentials, all of the small business residentials that we have in here, because basically all of these lots around the square in Henford-on-Bagley, aka Henford-the-Enchanted, are small business residential lots. So Sims are living in here, but also they're having their small businesses, and for that you really need a ticket kiosk. So you can see that it's hidden back in here. And the reason why it's working is because all of these decorations are placed from the basement, actually. You can see that they're almost floating kind of in the basement. So yeah, you're going to notice more ticket kiosks that are hidden like that. You know, we don't need technology in Fantasy Save File. So basically this was the Elarion haul. It looks obviously very elven, very beautiful. I just love this build so much. And now I'm going to show you this build, and I called it the Tree of Plenty. The Tree of Plenty is small business nectary owned by Elderroot family, and they are actually the oldest couple here in Henford-the-Enchanted. They're somewhere. Where are you, you guys? Okay, so we have our girl Maribel in here, and she's taking care of for the flowers, as you can see. Oh my god, we have some kind of a disease, I think, in here. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we have our Edric over here, Edric Elderroot. He is also an elder, as I said before. So down here, they have their residential house deep underground. And they have their nectary over here and the greenhouse over here on the 2 levels. That's very, very nice. They have a nectary classroom over here. Unfortunately, something got wrong in the last update. So right now, our whiteboards from businesses and hobbies are literally not showing. And I have no idea. Hopefully they're going to fix it very soon, but the whiteboard is supposed to be here in this place. They have a small workshop only for them, and also they have a small nectary shop over here, so you can buy some nice quality nectar over here. And upstairs we also have a tiny bar. This bar is supposed to be opened sometimes and sometimes not. It depends on which days you are having classes and which days you want to open this bar so everybody can hang out together. For this particular part of Henford-on-Bagley, I was really struggling because I didn't want save file to look too medievalish, kind of. I really wanted it to look very whimsical, more like fairy tale vibes. So I really struggled with the style, and I really needed to put a lot of thinking into every build because I wanted them to look like they're part of this village side, even though we have like a regular houses and cottages over here. So that was my idea. Also around Henford-the-Enchanted, you're going to notice some things that I placed off the lot with the tool mod. So if you are playing on console, unfortunately you are not going to be able to download the whole save file like this, but build by build, and you are not going to be able to get those things. But for all of you who are playing on PC, you supposed to have it like this hopefully, even though maybe you don't have a tool mod. And I would definitely recommend it to you because it's very useful. You can personalize your save files more, and also you can delete some of the things if you want to delete them, the ones that I placed off lots. So that's a plus. Basically, a story about Edric and Maribel is that they cannot have children biologically, unfortunately, but they found a little girl next to Baba Yaga's house in a basket while she was just a newborn, you know, and they decided to take her with them, and they saw it as a gift from the gods and everything. However, when she grew up a little bit and became a child, she decided to run away from home. It's not like she didn't like Edric and Maribel, but you know, she felt a nature call and she just left. She wanted to take care of the tiny animals, and she wanted to live in a nature far away from society, let's say it like that. She just didn't like to live in a nectary with all these people taking classes and coming to the shop every day. She just wanted to spend more time with her woodland friends. So you are going to see her house later on as well. And this is actually the Eye. The Eye is a magical home for the Quill family, and they're very, let's say, peculiar family. So we have our guy Thaddeus. He is an elder. He is actually a scientist and a wizard, so he is a wizard scientist, and he has the most like coolest lab in the world. in the basement, as you can see, where he is crafting his potions, but I have no idea. This is like alchemy table that we've got with the Sims for Get to Work. And I decided to change it a little bit. So if you want to use it, you need to click on this thing over here, and right now I don't have, but make a potion, and that's basically it. That's how you can use it. Also, the story around Thaddeus is that he opened a portal to the alien world, and that portal is actually over here, and you can travel to alien world. However, he opened that portal, and then aliens started to came up in Henford-the-Enchanted. So yeah, that's a little bit tricky. Some things became odd, and there was a lot of alien abductions and things like that lately in Henford-the-Enchanted. However, that's a story behind that thing over here. And you can see that you can craft potions in cauldrons in here, also craft jewelry and cut gemstones and things like that. He has a wife, Agatha, however, she is not at home right now. She's a stay-at-home mother, but she decided to open a library and also planetarium in their home because Thaddeus have his personal planetarium here in the library. But he spent so much time in his laboratory that she just decided to make some money out of their personal library and planetarium. So basically you can watch the stars over here, but also over here, because I added some telescopes. You can read in here, you can do some research. You can even study if you are a teenager or a child. So that's that. There are some bathrooms for the guests down there. And also ticket kiosk is this little thing over here. You can probably see it here. Yes. Here is a little ticket kiosk, and this is placed from the basement, and it's also functional. This is their son's room. They have a son called Pip. He's a very, well, peculiar little child. He once teleported a frog, and she came back dead, but still alive, and also she was fluent in Simlish. That's funny. And you can see the frog over here. That's the frog. So she's now an iconic frog for everybody to see. But yeah, Pip is also a very creative child. He likes to play his violin, and also he's very physical as well. He really likes to run around the house and play hide and seek here in laboratory, because this room is so mysterious and it's very fun for him. On the outside, we actually have some activities. As you can see, I placed this little tree house, and also you can build a spaceship over here. I mean, not a spaceship, but a rocket. So that goes with Thaddeus' character very, very nicely. Also, we have some chests over here, and this little thing where you can wish for the things you want in life, basically. And that would be it for their house. They're very peculiar family, I would say, and other neighbors doesn't really know what to think about them, you know, because they're so odd and they're hiding so many secrets. People just doesn't know what to think of them. So I think that's like very cute gameplay to do. and hopefully you're going to like it too. And now we are going to go to this lot over here, which are the Whispervail Caravans. So, speaking of aliens, these Whispervail Caravans are actually a home of Nova Aetherwyn, and she's a half alien. Her mother was actually a traveling, stargazing woman who was doing seances and tarot readings for her clients, and she was traveling around from space to space, and at some point she ended up here in Henford-the-Enchanted with her caravans. And then one day she has met an alien and she fell in love, and she became pregnant with this beautiful, beautiful girl, Nova Aetherwyn. However, her mother disappeared and never got back. So Nova, even though Nova found out that she's an alien, she decided to stay here and continue with her mother's business. She always felt connected to the universe and the stars and everything, but she thought that she can have that even though she decided not to go to the stars but stay in Henford-the-Enchanted. So nobody knows that she's an alien because she's in the skies all the time. She looks like a human, so nobody knows, and she has the most interesting little business over here where you can literally do meditations and watch the stars. You can blow bubbles in here. This is like super adorable part, I would say. I really like it. I don't know, with all the curtains and this pergola with flowers. It looks, I don't know, very bohemian to me, and I really like that. This is the part where you can come and drink tea and socialize with other Sims. Actually, I really, really like this business. I was playing with Henford-the-Enchanted a little bit. Not a little bit, actually, I played quite a lot because I really, really like it, and sometimes I wouldn't be able to even build because I really wanted to play with my builds inside because they're so much fun. And about the business, we also have this seance room over here for the seances, of course, calling the ghosts. And also she's a tarot reader, so you can get tarot readings from her, which is very, very nice. She lives in this right caravan, and there is no bathroom inside, so I figured we can place a bathroom over in here. But she has a functional desk over here so she can eat or drink, and she is very messy. But she can cook in here. This kitchen is completely functional. This is her sleeping area. Very, very cozy, I would say. And I didn't put a regular dresser, but I put this chest from The Sims 4 Love Struck. It looks very, very nice with the overall style, almost like she's, you know, traveling all the time. So yeah, there are some planters outside. We have our cow plant over here as well. I don't know, overall I just really like this lot. I placed some grave sites and also a crypt over here, so that's also fun for the gameplay, I would say. And this is a haunted grounds, so ghosts are coming quite regularly in here, so I just thought it would be logical to have some kind of a grave site over here, just to have a backstory for why this ground is so hallowed, you know. And now we are going to move to the woodland area. So first up, we have this chicken leg hut that is a home of Baba Yaga. I'm always saying Baba Yaga, but actually the right pronunciation is Baba Yaga. And she is actually the character from Slavic folklore. She's a witch who hates children, and she's very powerful. Where is she? Oh, there she is. So basically, she's very powerful, and everybody is scared of her. Even though she is not necessarily just a bad guy, she knows how to be a good guy. It depends on who you are, basically. But she works for the Grim Reaper, and basically she is a Grim Reaper. So she's traveling from the world of the living to the realm of dead and back and things like that. So there is a lot of lore behind her. However, she lives with her dog Vuk and also with her cats Žar and Mračna. Those are Slavic names. So Vuk means wolf, Žar means spark, and also Mračna means the dark one. So it's a female name. We have this cool house. You can see how basically rotten this house is. We have mice in here. We have all sorts of creepy crawlers, and it's just very nasty overall. But it kind of has a cozy aspect to it. You can see that I turned these buckets into the toilets and also into sinks. I showed you this trick many times, but actually you can click over here where the original toilet is, and then the animation is going to look like she is being into this bucket. And also there is a small sink over here. You can wash hands, and it's going to look like she is washing hands in the bucket. And I used those tricks quite a lot of time throughout the whole save files. On this floor, we have her potion making room, let's say it like that. I really like this trick with the skeleton in the cauldron. You can see that the skeleton is hanging in this cage in her cauldron, almost like she did a kebab or something. Most of the things over here are just purely decorational. As you can see, the only thing that is truly working is this cauldron over here. Of course, if you want to give her some other activities in her house, you can do that. I have some planters over here, even though I didn't grow anything, but on the balconies you can find some planters to grow things. And there are a few balconies over here. And then we have third floor, where you can find her little bedroom and also one more extra bathroom. The story about Baba Yaga is that she lives in a deep forest in a chicken leg hut, and her house is alive and she can walk around. So when Baba Yaga grabs her victims, she can go back to the house and go somewhere else with the house. So that's the reason why I did this chicken leg hut, and I think it looks quite nice. I'm very proud of these legs because they look like chicken legs, and that was very hard to do and figure out how to do it, you know. I wanted everything to look like a swamp area, let's say, like a swamp area in the woods. I thought that's just a cool idea. And just to let you know, this lot usually doesn't have all these trees that I placed with the tool mod. I just thought since Baba Yaga lives in the forest, originally I wanted to build a forest area around it. And also there is this portal from The Sims 4 Life and Death, with the souls. You are kind of sending souls through to another world through this, and I just thought that works with Baba Yaga very nice, and I decided to place it here. It really looks like hidden in the woods. And yeah, on the other side we have this cute waterfall house. This place is called Naya's Secret Waterfall, and actually Naya is our mermaid over here. She's swimming all the time. She really likes this lot, you guys. She's obsessed with swimming all the time. But thing about Naya is that originally she was an ocean mermaid, and she had sisters and felt very outcasted with them. They were so obsessed with the beauty and with spending time with humans. They were fooling around all the time, and she's more introverted and, as you can see, socially awkward. She doesn't feel like socializing with people as much. So she ran away from her ocean home and she came to Henford-the-Enchanted, and she find this cool looking waterfall in the woods, and she found out that there is a hidden cave under the waterfall. So she decided to turn this cave into her home, and now she has this small cute little home under the waterfall only for herself and her enjoyment. Everything inside is functional. I'm really sorry that I used this plants from Sulani, and those are actually oceanic slash sea plants. However, I really wanted this house inside to be overgrown with underwater plants, so that's the best that I was able to do. Here is a small bathroom as well, and I believe that this house has an off-the-grid trait. I don't know, I just thought that's going to work very well with this because, you know, it's a house under the waterfall. So here is her bedroom. She also have this jewelry making table. I just thought that works very nice with the mermaid. And also I placed a guitar in here because mermaids really like to sing, and just to have one more activity extra so she can like sing and also play an instrument while she's doing so. I placed also some activities over here, like this bathtub. It looks very natural, so I thought it would be a cute addition over here next to this huge rock. I placed this cave over here. It's from the werewolves, and if you click on it, you can travel to base. Unfortunately, I never tried this out. I assumed that somehow based around werewolves, and we have one werewolf family, so maybe you can use that with them. We have a chest table over here. I placed this little fire pit with the stamp chairs because that looked very, very natural to me. We have a veil in here. Also, we have one more telescope. So I've basically added some extra activities around the lot as well. And you can notice obviously that I turned this lot into the woodland area. So we now have this huge altogether woodland area where Baba Yaga lives, and also Naya. And I don't know, just I think it looks very, very nice all together, and hopefully you guys like it 2. Let's go to the next lot over here for our little witch. So, do you remember when I was telling you about the Elderroot family and that they have an adopted daughter that ran away from them when she was a child? So, this is her. This is our girlfriend, Elira. She is a forest witch who lives with little animals, and she's basically giving them shelter. So when she ran away, she found this beautiful mossy tree nook, and she noticed that there is a hole in the tree, and she just started living there and rebuilding her life of her own. And she survived because of those animals. Like she befriended birds, and also she befriended, I cannot see any of the small animals, but we have some small goats and sheep somewhere over here. They're probably wandering around other lots. This house doesn't look as a functional house, but it actually is. There is a whole house inside. We have like this first floor where are all the basic living things. So bathroom, this dining area, we have one bathroom over here. Obviously on this side you can see that we have a small garden and a cow plant, of course, because you know we really like cow plants and they definitely look enchanting enough. On this floor, let's say underground floor, you can get downstairs from here as well, so you have back entrance, let's say. And downstairs we have this cute little living room, and also we have a bedroom over here, but the bedroom is also a potion making room for our Elira to make potions. We have one extra bathroom down here, and that's basically it for the house. As I mentioned earlier, she is taking care for the smaller animals, and this is actually a cat hangout. So you're going to see that some things are a bit messy because of the cats, and also you can see little balls basically everywhere. They're outside, they're inside, on the first floor, on the second floor, everywhere. She lives with her friend Amber, that is a fox, and now she actually has a options to train her little Amber, because I placed training ground, let's say it like that. I also placed this swing set over here. I thought it's just super cute over here. And on this side we also have one fire pit. This is also of the great house, if I remember correctly. You're going to be able to see that obviously when you download the save file, but everything is very well thought through. At least for myself, I've never done anything like this before, like this save file with all the characters and the stories and aspirations and skills and everything. So there is a lot to explore. Hopefully it's going to be fun for you. But that would be it for our little witch Elira over here. And now we are getting to a very, 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 very nice and also huge 64 by 64 lot for our small little fairies. This place is called Sunblossom Glade, and it's actually a home for our 4 little fairies. We have Penny Glowbloom and her creative daughter Luna. They live in this house over here. And also Penny is the owner of a small business here on this lot. She has this little bar called Happy Gnome, and that's actually a reference from Henford-on-Bagley. I just love that name, and I thought it would work very nice for this place. As you can see, it's a very, very tiny bar, but you can drink here, you can dance in here, and it's just, you know, very cozy little bar here on this lot. As I said, they live here, and you can see how everything is colorful. That's because our Luna is very creative, and she's a painter, like painter teen. So she basically colored all of the things in their house, so everything looks so whimsical and colorful and cute. You can obviously see that her bedroom is over here, and she has one more extra easel outside because she likes to paint next to the water and in the nature. So I was thinking about that. They are having their own honey in here, and on the second floor there is Penny's bedroom. First I placed stairs here, but unfortunately for some reason I couldn't get them to work, so I replaced them with these ladders that are pretty cute and overgrown, so that works. The next fairy that we have is our Sylvie Dewlight. She's a flower fairy. Unfortunately, I don't remember why, but I probably didn't have the time to plant some flowers, so you can do that. I was thinking that she's going to plant a lot of flowers everywhere, so I've added a lot of space for her to do exactly that. This is her house. You can obviously see that it's very flower inspired. You have a lot of flower references around the place, and also she has this flower arranging table over here that is of course functional. By the way, I decided not to make this place into rental residential, just because there is so many problems around The Sims 4 for rent that I was honestly scared to do that. Obviously, you can do that. You can turn some of the fairies into owners, but yeah, anyways, whatever you want. But for now, I was playing that every fairy has their own house and some activities based around their characters, and it was working pretty nice. I cannot say that the fairies are not entering to other fairies' house. I cannot say that, but I always have this vision of fairies being almost as a sisters, so very close, and I just didn't mind that, honestly. And by the way, Sylvie Dewlight is a cousin of our other fairy that you are going to meet very soon on the other lot. This one is a flower fairy, and her cousin is like a plant fairy overall, let's say. And now we have Nyx Blackswing's house. She is more into herself. Some fairies think that she is even evil a little bit, but she's just a little bit broken, I would say. She also has a very dark and tragic past, but actually she really likes other fairies secretly, and she really wants to protect them and live in a peace with them. She's learning to find the right way to do that, you know. We also have our stables over here because some of our Sims are having horses. So I thought if they're visiting this place and, you know, visiting a bar, perhaps they can leave their horses in here. They have a place to relax and sleep, and also drink, eat, and all the other necessities for the horses. And right now, about the giveaway I was telling you before, I have one code for you guys, so you can turn all these fairies into the true fairies and play with fairies in Henford-the-Enchanted. So thank you so much, Electronic Arts, for giving me this opportunity to give at least one of you little gift, and hopefully you're going to enjoy that pack. If you want to get into giveaway, please write me a comment fairy into the comments down below, and in my next video I'm going to announce a winner. So that would be for the giveaway. And the one thing extra that I wanted to show you is that I placed this small wedding arch space, let's say it like that, so you can also get married in this romantic little spot above the water, like very, very romantic, I would say, and very fairy-like. It's just a very cute way to get married. So that would be it for our fairy village, Sunblossom Glade. This is probably one of my favorite lots, and there is a speed build, of course, that you can watch. You can watch speed builds and stop motions for majority of these builds, so I'm going to put out the links to these videos when we get to the certain builds. Hopefully you're going to watch that if you haven't done that already. But just to let you know, I changed some of the builds just to fit the vibe of the overall fantasy save, so hopefully that's okay with you. And let's go to another build from here. There is a very interesting story based around this place. Oh my god, there is some shit on the floor. But anyways, this is a home of a vampire, actually, Celine Duskthorn, and this is not her original home. She actually stole this home from a fairy called Amethysta Moonstone. And Amethysta Moonstone was originally born in here, and she was like a crystal princess fairy. But then Celine came here for basically revenge, because as I was telling you before, there was a vampire wars in here, and she lost all her family members and her whole army. So she came back here to Henford-the-Enchanted to seek revenge. She came in here and she claimed this mountain over here where usually our Amethysta was living. And now she lives in here. And what happened is she banned the fairy Amethysta deep into this mountain. And she's now some kind of, let's say, a slave of Celine. Why I'm saying slave? Because Celine is actually pretending that she's crafting jewelry in here and, you know, all the other things. She's very good at pretending. She has this table over here where she's selling her jewelry. And also she's pretending that she's not a vampire, so other people doesn't know she is a real vampire. They've heard a lot of stories about her, but they don't know that she's alive, and especially they don't know that she took the whole mountain from a crystal fairy. So that's a little gameplay over here. And our girl Amethysta is actually hidden in the world of Forgotten Grotto, and I've placed one more lot over there. I'm going to show you that very soon. But basically there is an entrance to the Forgotten Grotto over here. It looks closed, but it's not. Unfortunately, in The Sims 4, when you close your game, Amethysta is going to get back to this lot. But if you turn her to fairy, at some point you're going to have a small fairy house, so she's going to be able to sleep there and all the other things. They're not going to be in need of sharing the bed, basically. So that's very nice. We have some extra things over here. Our Celine has her best friend Duskrider over here. She's Duskthorn and he's Duskrider, so that was a cool little idea, I think. There are hot springs over here, so you can bath in here, and all these little goodies. I think the whole mountain looks pretty cool. It's like filled with crystals. And yeah, now I'm going to show you the lot that is actually hidden, and it should be home for our Amethysta moonstone. So she's going to get in very quickly. She just wants to reclaim her home, as anybody would, I guess. Okay, now we are traveling to the Forgotten Grotto, and we are going to end up here on this small crystal lot that I think looks absolutely adorable. I don't know, have you ever seen Forgotten Grotto before? But it's basically a huge crystal cave, and what I was thinking is that Amethysta actually was born in here, and this is her birthplace, let's say. It's a very nice spot because you can collect all sorts of things in here, little frogs and plants, and also there are crystals that you can collect, so it works very well with the storytelling, I think. She also has these crystal trees over here and over here, so she can grow crystals. And basically inside it's a super tiny little space, but it's entirely functional. We have this small bathroom over here. We also have a kitchen and a bed. So if you are staying here with Amethysta, you are going to have all the necessities to work hard for Celine. And as you can see, I placed this jewelry making table. So I was thinking like she is crafting all this jewelry and crystals and things like that. And then Celine comes to her and just take all of her hard work and selling it back there on the lot next to her caravan. So that was like a small story that I was basically thinking about, and I don't know, I just really like that. While I was doing this save file, I was non-stop talking with my boyfriend about using this fantasy save for our D&D game, because we didn't play for such a long time D&D, unfortunately, and we need a story, and that takes time, of course. So I thought, oh my god, it would be so cool to use my story for Henford-the-Enchanted for D&D. So yeah, we'll see about that. However, let's go to the next lot. So this is the Blooming Branch. This is a home for our fairy Lirette. moss willow, and also her best buddy, Asterion, who is obviously a unicorn. And I mean, he's super, super pretty. She is Sylvie's Dewlight cousin, as I mentioned earlier, in our Sunblossom Glade. So she basically lives here with her best friend Asterion, and they're taking care of the forest. She's kind of a plant-based forest fairy, and they are taking care of the wildest nature and homes and everything here in Henford-the-Enchanted. This is basically Asterion's small bed over here, even though he prefers to sleep outside for some reason, but yeah, this is his place to sleep. I've added some equipment for horse training over here and over here as well, so Lirette and Asterion can also train. She has her little garden over here, as you can see. Everything looks very magical because I place these little stars everywhere. There are a lot of these stars on the different lots. Maybe you already noticed. And that's a little trick with these skate rings that I placed from the basement, basically. And then when you click on them, you can customize ring, set effect, and then just set whatever effect you like the most, and you are going to get this adorable little stars that look very, very magical and enchanting. Here is her little house. She's going to show you the little animation right now. In here we actually have the letters, and I placed these stamps from Cottage Living with the tool mod, and now it almost looks like she's climbing up to the tree, let's say it like that. At least that was kind of the idea. This is her little home. She has all the necessities needed. She has a little kitchen. There is her bedroom. There is also one bathroom in this whole space. In here we have living room. This was originally made with custom content, this whole build, and a lot of you were very excited for this build. Unfortunately, a lot of you couldn't have it because there was a custom content inside, so I changed it so everybody can have it in their game, hopefully. Yeah, this is kind of a little nook where she can read if she wants to. Nothing much, but we also have this third floor where the cauldron is, and she can make little potions. Of course, if you get The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature, I would recommend you to remove this cauldron and place an apothecary table that we've got in The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature, because that would work better for the fairy. But as I mentioned before, right now our fairies are only spellcasters and they're not flying. If I'm not mistaken, there is also a mod called Fairies versus Witches. That should be good enough if you decided not to buy Enchanted by Nature for some reason, you know, there are different reasoning. Okay, as you can see, I placed this tree over here so you can travel to Sylvan Glade as well. Unfortunately, this time I didn't build anything for Sylvan Glade, but I'm not done with this fantasy save file. This is only the first world that I build, so there are going to be plenty of time to build something in Sylvan Glade. So basically that's home for our Lirette and Asterion. And actually I'm going to travel to the next lot with Lirette so I can show you that lot in live mode, because the next lot that I have to show you is generic. but I think that you are going to like it overall. So let's travel with our girl Lirette, and then I'm going to show you the next lot. We can actually go with Asterion, why not? So we are on one very interesting lot called the Eldergates. And I called it the Eldergates because actually we can travel from here to two hidden worlds. One is Sylvan Glade throughout this tree, and also one is Realm of Magic, and that's this portal over here. If you want to travel to Realm of Magic, you just need to go here and click travel to Realm of Magic, or you can go and explore this tree to go to Sylvan Glade. We have this little lake over here, and it's just super cute. You can see little fairies everywhere casting some spells, playing with water, or doing whatever. But yeah, basically that's the only functionality of this lot. You can go to the Realm of Magic, or you can go to the Sylvan Glade. And now I'm going to show you the last lot in Henford-the-Enchanted, and then I'm going to give you one more extra lot, but we are going to talk about it pretty soon. Let's check out the last build of Henford-the-Enchanted. Okay, these are the Hollowfang ruins. And actually, Hollowfangs are werewolves that were once ruling Henford-the-Enchanted, so they are a royal family. But unfortunately, during the war, their whole hill castle burned down. And our Alaric, Hollowfang, unfortunately lost his wife, Elderwyn, and also, unfortunately, his daughter, Elira. And he was just so depressed. He couldn't find the strength to continue living. Yeah, a very tragic story. However, he learned how to summon ghosts, and one day he summoned Elira and Elderwyn, and they decided to stay and haunt this whole place, because of course they were also very sad. They had this separation with Alaric, so they continue living together in this ruin, basically. It's very obviously a ruin. We also have this almost like a crypt floor over in here with the coffin. We have some secret rooms, but also we have obviously a functional rooms like kitchen and bedroom and all the other different things. You can see that everything is overgrown, everything is ruined. I just really wanted this build to look almost like it's caught by nature after the huge fire. This is probably my favorite part of the build. It's super cute. There is this outdoor area. We have this grave site. We also have this little warm pool. I think it's warm, yeah. There is a telescope to use and all these other things, and we can see our girl Elderwyn over here. She looks pretty happy. That's not very realistic, but it is what it is. So I don't know, I just really like this build. I'm hoping it looks almost like it's caught up by fire. And this is also my favorite lot in Henford-on-Bagley, so I was very happy to do something like this over here. And what I like about it is that you can literally see it from up far. It looks like castle on the hill, so that's kind of cute. there is nothing much to do outside, but there are a lot of activities inside. There is also a piano. I was thinking that Alaric is playing the piano, like a very sad kind of sounding, depressing sounds from piano. And also our Elderroot is a painter, so she has an easel outside watching this whole beautiful world of the Enchanted. There is a small library over here. We have a chess table. As I said, we have a seance room right now because Alaric became very spiritual. But Alaric is also working as a soldier. Since he lost his wife and his child, his beautiful little girl, he doesn't have much will to live, if you know what I mean. He's not afraid of dying. So he just decided to do a good thing and stay a soldier and protect what's left from Henford-the-Enchanted, basically. So this would be the last build of Henford-the-Enchanted, but I have one small surprise for you that I'm about to show you right now. So I placed one more lot in Glimmerbrook, and I decided to start Glimmer the Great. That's going to be the name for our enchanted Glimmerbrook. I'm not entirely sure right now, am I going to start with Glimmerbrook right away, or I'm going to start with some other worlds, but I definitely wanted to have one starter option for you in Henford-the-Enchanted, because all of the lots in other worlds are empty. Just so you know, I emptied the whole world, and also I changed all of the townies, hopefully, in more of like a fantasy kind of clothing, so everything works together. Hopefully, they're going to continue looking the way I made them, hopefully, because sometimes Sims knows how to randomize clothing, and I really don't like that, but however, we can't do nothing about it. But this is a small mushroom house, and it's also a starter home. So if you want to do a regular gameplay where you start from the beginning with no career and all of the other things, you can do that on this lot. It's super cute. Of course, it would be perfect for a fairy. Inside, it's also pretty cute. Everything basically is in white, beige, and pink tones. So I don't know, that's quite cute, I guess. We have a bed over here, a living room. We also have a table, of course. There are some activities like this bookshelves. We have knitting supplies over here. There is also an easel outside, and there are small pots so you can plant something in here. Of course, we have a bathroom as well. So it's fully furnished tiny home, basically. I think that you can actually turn this into tiny home residential. I totally forgot to do that, but you can do that as well, because if you have tiny living, that's better. So yeah, that's just one little extra thing for you to have in this fantasy save file until I start building the next world. So that would be our Henford-the-Enchanted, enchanted and magical fantasy occult save file for The Sims 4. Hopefully you enjoyed this video tour. I'm hoping that you love fantasy gameplay and that you are going to download this fantasy save file and that you are going to try all of the stories that I created here for this world. Of course, for every single family, you have an info panel in here so you can read more about them. All download information are going to be listed in my description down below, so definitely check that one out. Tell me in the comments which build you like the most or which characters you like the most, and at the end, are you excited to play finally with this fantasy save file? If you are going to do so, please let me know how is it going. Are you enjoy playing with it? I mean, I'm just so proud of this, and it's been a year when I started doing this, and it was a true passionate project of mine, and I'm really hoping that you are all going to enjoy it. So you guys, I'm sending you a lot of kisses. Don't forget to participate in a giveaway so you can get your copy of The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature. I'm sending you a lot of kisses, and I just cannot wait to see you again very soon. Bye everybody. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future builds. Until the next time, bye guys!